and
yeah,
go.
and go.
Okay, so
It's ridiculous.
yeah, okay, so just kind of back to what we were talking about before, like incorporating music from other artists.
Yeah.
So in journalism, some writers like to make these super bold comparisons just to like generate interest in people hearing it. I personally think it's like grasping at straws. Like they don't really know like exactly how to define that music or how it sounds.
Right.
As a musician, do you feel pressure to make music that's comparable to other artists to like get people interested? Like artists with a strong fan following.
Right. Yes and no. I mean, I think it comes more like not pressure, but when I listen to something that I really like, and it doesn't really matter if there's a fan base or not. And most things I do, there is a strong following just because that's how I know about it. So like, instead of feeling pressure to be like them, so that I get a following, it just happens that I like their style, so I try it. Like
Okay.
I want to be. I don't want my music to sound like it, but I like it so much that I kind of want to give it a try. You know, whether it's like an ethereal feel or whatever, or like bluegrass. If I'm just into it, then I just kind of delve into that genre a little bit more, just to add it to the repertoire, I guess. You know.
Mm-hmm. And when you read, as a musician, when and if you read reviews of other people's work, like what do you sort of look for in reading those reviews? Like, do you look for like a critical, in-depth analysis of like the music and the production, or are you sort of just like looking for like how that writer like felt listening to it?
Well, it depends on if I've heard the artist or not. So I think that like the point you brought up before about comparison, I think that is important. Maybe not to make such strong and bold, shot in the dark comparisons. But if I've never heard it, it's important to have a point of reference.
Okay.
And I don't like critical, over analytical, pieces, because I have a feeling that there's different kind of. I mean, there are writers who are that way.
Yeah.
To be that way, and so I don't really believe what they have to say because they're going to nitpick everybody. That's their job. Mm-hmm. The more unbiased, the better. And I do like those comparisons if I've never heard them. Although I do, if I have heard them and somebody makes a comparison that I just can't handle, then I'm done with a
like
article.
For me, it was reading 3 reviews that Arcade Fire was compared to Rolling Stone.
Yeah, I don't understand. That would be one that is like, you know what, I don't care what he has to say, because I just... That's
so far off.
Yeah, I know. I'm like... I think that somebody who would read an article like that, who's never heard Arcade Fire, but like the Rolling Stones, would be in for a huge surprise. Yeah. But mostly I can't handle overly biased pieces. It's just...
So you look for more of like their emotional reaction to it, like this is how this piece kind of sounded, and like this is sort of like how it made me feel.
Yeah, I like it more informational, more like this is kind of the genre it sounds like. This is, I felt, and I kind of like to know a little bit, if they can tell me a little bit about the artist themselves, that's cool, like how they are as like a person, like he's a real cool guy, blah, blah, then it sparks my interest a lot more than, well, Arcade Fire's like the Rolling Stones, but they kind of suck and this and that, just, more information, the better, I guess.
Yeah, because I did that. I made a comparison, and I reviewed Enema the State by Blink-182, and I compared the riffs in All the Small Things to the Ramones, and I believe it was Pet Sematary. I made the comparison of the riffs, just the way that the riffs were, like, set up. Sure. And my teacher really didn't like that, but I was like, if you, like, listen to Pet Sematary and then listen to All the Small Things. Like, those riffs pretty much line up. Like, they're in the same time signature, and I'm pretty sure they were the exact same chord.
Progression and stuff. Yeah. That is
and I said,
that's okay.
And my exact wording was Ramones inspired riffs. So,
sure.
I mean, I didn't say like
they copied or anything.
Yeah.
And if you're that specific, then fine. Or if you hear a song and the melody is and it makes you instantly think of whatever other song, then that's fine. But I don't like when people say like, well, they're gonna be the next so and so.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know. Not okay with that.
Yeah. I think that's all my questions.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this.
Hey, no problem.
We're gonna go get drunk now.
Bloopers!
Turn down for what?
What the